Good morning.
Good morning.
So, an opportunity of what do you do with it? Last Sunday, a gentleman came to me who's in the congregation right now. His name is John, and he asked if he could attend class. I said, if you would like to, then I need to have your name, your phone number, and that you would like to attend class. At which time then I also brought him to someone else to explain to him the nature of class so that he would better understand. And it was left at that. Then come Thursday, this is where we are at what do you do with it? Because it came to class unannounced to me that it was happening, so there was the confusion. And I told him, you cannot come. You're not allowed to come in here without me getting first permission from Spirit that says to me, you're allowed to come. Well, it was taken in such a way that he felt I was being rude and also that I embarrassed him and he felt humiliated. He sent this to me in an email, to which I then called him and responded and said, listen, John, I want you to understand. Sincerely, I apologize for this misunderstanding. That wasn't sufficient because he then said, I want to hear this done publicly, which is what is taking place right now. So this is a public apology for something that transpired. So this is an example of perhaps what you can do with it, with the realization that we're all in the process of awakening, we're all in the process of learning and growing. And opportunities such as this afford all of us to learn and to grow. Now, the old school, the old way is to look at this and say, okay, do we have a victim here? Do we have a perpetrator here? Do we have a rescuer here? Because that's the old way, where you identify with what's happening instead of recognizing that we're all creators, whether we're creating consciously or unconsciously. We are determining what comes into our life, and we determine it by the way that we choose to respond. So, the more important the decision, the more profound its effect. When you get right down to it, we look and we say, well, how do I know what's really the best here? How do I know? Do I have a foreknowledge? And the fact of the matter is, oftentimes, even if we did have it, we wouldn't use it because we're not aware of it. We're not conscious of it. So, it's the intention. Because when you ask, how do I know what is really best? The answer is simple. It doesn't matter. What really matters is not the choice that you make, but rather the intention behind your choice. What's motivating you? What's motivating you to act the way that you do, to say the things that you say, to engage in life the way that you engage? Well, we're awakening, and in our awakening we realize we don't have the answers to all of the questions that come up. If we try to do it solely on our own, we often feel we're missing something. Something's not quite there that would really help us if we had access to it. What I'm making mention to now is divine guidance. Now, divine may be to you and to someone else not the same thing, but I think we all have somewhat of a recognition of divine. And this guidance, you see, can be something that if we choose to be open to it, it will support us. And the powerful forces that support us, we will come to recognize are greater than ourselves, have a greater wisdom and perception of what's going on. And we can really help ourselves to then come to a place of saying, what I can do with it is stop feeling totally responsible for it and open up that to be able to respond to a higher influence that will help me help myself. Do we make mistakes?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad we're all in agreement with that. But we look again and we begin to see mistakes are opportunities to grow. They're opportunities to learn, to get improvement into the picture from the choices that we make. Because when we choose to see all experiences as gifts from the divine, that they are opportunities for our growth and understanding, we open to a greater, deeper level of divine guidance. Then I want to bring in two considerations that are sometimes challenging, but oh so rewarding, and that has to do with acceptance and compassion. If you can accept where you are and what's going on with your life, you'd be a lot better off than denying, making excuses, finding fault with others. You begin to realize, wait a minute now. This is an opportunity for me to grow in myself, to come to a greater appreciation of who I am, and also to come to a greater appreciation and acceptance of where others are. So that in this acceptance, coupled with our joining with the divine within us and the divine within the other, we can then have compassion for ourselves as well as for the others. Because you see, all of us are born into this, and there is a sweetness about us that soon is clouded over by circumstance and situation. Darkness comes in and it begins to affect our awareness in such a way that most of us then, to protect ourselves, we put on this mask. And we think that putting on this mask is really going to protect us. It's going to keep us from being hurt so much. Whereas in reality, if you look, you wear a mask, and after a while you start believing you're the mask you're wearing. To where somewhere along the way, even if it's only when you pass from here, you begin to realize, I am not and I never was the mask. So in this, we begin to see that most of us have developed this protective mask. And it has been to hide these layers of fear and insecurity from others, and sometimes even from ourselves. So no matter how much we may have forgotten, how thick those overpowering layers may be, our beautiful core essence is and always has been there. So in that, the encouragement is, of course, to extend this acceptance and compassion to yourself and then to others. In so doing, you're going to find that it makes your life a little more easy to live, so that then you can ask divine guidance as you explore and transform these dark places. Now, does it take courage? You bet your sweetness it takes courage. It takes courage to accept. It takes courage to have compassion for our own weaknesses, our own fears, as well as those of others. But if you do this instead of continuing to avoid or deny, you open up to a deeper and more authentic way of living and of relating to others. So, then we come to the key element of all, and that is the empowerment of love. I'm going to ask you if you will repeat this after me. I will do my best.
I will do my best
to love and empower myself.
to love and empower myself
To be the best I can be.
to be the best I can be
Every day of my life.
every day of my life.
If you actually allow yourself to become at one with it, you find that it is truly a transformative power that you begin to embody. You find that truly many of the things that you thought were so important and so necessary no longer hold that value for you, but rather what you discover is that you want to live your life in a much different way. You can choose to love and empower the divine spark within all. So to conclude this, imagine a world where all people truly did their best to love and empower each other. You can become one of those people right now. You can choose to make your life and our world a better place. It is fully possible. Let us choose every day of our lives to do the best for all, to open to divine guidance, to accept and find compassion, and to love and empower ourselves and all around us to be the best that we can be. Thank you so very much.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.